Welcome to the 11th episode of the Outdoor Sports Show for 2018. This is the most epic television magazine programme that showcases the very best action from triathlon and running to cliff diving and ski cross. As long as it's outdoor sports, then we've got it covered. In this episode, we will travel the world by way of running and triathlon events from two different continents. We fly to Asia and to Taiwan for the one and only off-road triathlon series and the Xterra Taiwan. We stay with running and in Asia, but move to China for the unique Shanghai 10-kilometre international elite race. Finally, we move to Latin America and to Chile for one of the toughest running races on Earth with the Atacama Crossing, a race which is part of the Racing the Planet series. So let's start our journey flying to Asia and visiting Taiwan for their Xterra race. It's a modern city with traditional Chinese temples, hot spring resorts and dramatic mountainous terrain. The off-road triathlon event was held in and around the stunning mountains and forests of southern Taiwan's Kenting National Park. More than 500 participants took part in the event, which not only included the full-distance Xterra race, but also a short-distance Xterra triathlon, as well as 5, 10 and 21-kilometre trail runs. Xterra Taiwan is the newest addition to the Xterra World Tour, where amateur athletes from across the globe aim to qualify for the annual Xterra World Championships in Maui. The Xterra Asia Pacific Tour is a totally different world to the European or Pan-American tours, but this is the aim of Xterra's. Different places, different cultures, different experiences. Let's hear from Australia's Jackie Allen on what an athlete can expect from the Asia Pacific Tour and what the main differences are from the other Xterra tours.
You've got to be very, very prepared for the heat and the humidity which comes with the races. And the races in Asia tend to be a lot more adventure race based, so you'll tend to be hiking a bike a lot more and hiking up the rocks and perhaps using ropes and things to climb down rocks. It's quite a lot more adventurous, I think, than some of the European races, and there's always massive crowds, like lots of people, lots of buzz around the Asian races as well.
So the first day of the event started with a trail running race. Traditional dances and all the local cultural elements makes the event one of the most unique of all the Xterra events worldwide. The route began with a sandy, rocky riverbed. The gradient then began to increase, and the first real climb took the athletes to Mount Shanmu. There were then several climbs along Menmalu, where the participants weaved their way along dirt trails, through liander forests and evergreens, to an unexpected skyline view.
I'm so ready.
I'm ready for the race. Yes, go!
So let's get into the trail running action. After an epic start, the 5, 10 and 20-kilometre race athletes face the challenges of the cultural Taiwanese landscape. Demanding uphills, fast downhills and river crossings were just some of the elements that made this trail run unique. It was energy sapping on the athletes, and the winners fought hard to claim that top spot on the podium. Xterra warriors travel around the world in order to participate on the Xterra Global Tour. Sometimes they travel alone and some travel with their partners as a couple. Nicole Walters and Doug Hall are a successful couple who travel the globe in order to be part of the Xterra family. Let's meet them.
It's great to have Doug there to travel around with. It's definitely a team effort when we come to the races.
You do enough races and enough travelling, you obviously got the high points, you know, they're really fantastic times that you share together, but also there's times where it's not going quite so well, you know, one of you is injured or tired or a little bit ill, and actually having somebody there to sort of support you through, you know, a rough patch, you know, it avoids you from being lonely and kind of can get you through, or even just someone to tell you to stop moaning and to kind of get on with it a little bit. It's quite nice. So, you know, teamwork makes the dream work.
The final day of the Xterra Taiwan saw the all-important triathlon race for the elite athletes. It combined a 1.5-kilometre, 2-lap ocean swim, followed by a challenging 26-kilometre single-loop mountain bike, and concluded with a 10-kilometre trail run through lush forests and on open, beautiful oceanfront trails. The weather was perfect and everybody was ready for this all-important race.
Good to be here, race day.
Ready? Woo! Ready as I'll ever be.
After an epic start, Australia's Ben Allen was first out of the water, with Lewis Ryan just 20 seconds behind. Great Britain's Doug Hall came out of the swim 2 minutes back from the leaders. Ryan quickly caught Allen on the bike and both started to work together to pull further clear of third. Finally, the youngster from New Zealand held on to the lead to claim his first ever Xterra title. Allen finished second with Hall in third. In the women's race, the fastest swim split went to British athlete Nicole Walters, who exited the water a minute and 10 seconds ahead of her compatriot Jackie Allen. On the bike, Allen pushed hard and passed Walters at the halfway mark, but disaster struck when she picked up a puncture. Riding on a leak, she lost time and gave Walters the chance to retake the lead. She remained in front for the run, crossing the line to claim victory ahead of Allen.
It's a phenomenal feeling to get my first win on the World Tour as a pro. Yeah, it was an incredible race out there. So many great athletes. Yeah, it's a pretty surreal feeling. The kind of feeling I didn't think I'd experience for at least another couple years. So for it to happen, it's just, yeah, icing on the cake of an awesome trip. So yeah, beyond stoked.
I'm really happy to win today. Going into the race, I was just hoping to finish in one piece. So yeah, I'm really happy to win. It was good. I had a really good swim. I think I enjoyed the swim for the first time this year, so that was great. The bike course was tough. It was a really tough bike course. It was technically a challenge, and also physically all the climbs were really hard as well. And then the run was a really nice run course, sort of single track downhill. Really nice, all the way back down here to the youth centre.
This episode of the Outdoor Sports Show showcases the very best running and triathlon events. Trail running is just one part of it. Racing in the mountains is demanding, but so is road running, which is where we head next, to Shanghai in China, where they were preparing to host the Shanghai 10-kilometre International Elite Race. The event featured a total of 7,000 runners, 1,000 more than last year. (6,400) were competing in the 10-kilometre main race, and the remaining 600 were taking part in the 2-kilometre family run. The race included a family run as a special category, where parents and their children took on the challenge together over a shorter 2-kilometre course.
因为我们家是比较注重运动的，然后所以呢，我也比较关注这个亲子跑的活动。在第一次得知了这个比赛项目的活动的时候，我就比较关注，然后一到那个报名时间就第一时间参与进来。然后一方面呢，我是觉得全民健身的理念也要进入到每一个家庭，然后还有呢，就是这个活动能增进亲子的感情，当然我觉得还是非常有意义的吧。 我也希望孩子能参与到这种社会活动当中，对他以后的这种也是一种帮助吧，人生历练啦，或者社会经验啦，各方面都是有帮助的。注重这种亲子时光的，所以有这种活动呢，然后记录一下，对反正我觉得还是蛮好的吧，增进家里的这种亲子互动，然后呢也能锻炼身体，是吗？
For the main race over 10 kilometres, many athletes were challenged by the course and tried to beat their personal best.
这里的话，这次可能相对比较容易一点，因为平时的话也是会进行一些20公里啊或者30公里更长的一个拉练，所以还是比较容易一点。 我觉得这个的话是一个突破吧，因为10公里短距离的话，更希望有一个 PB 的成绩。然后上海的话，因为在本土嘛，然后当然希望有一个突破，然后也和朋友相约，希望明天能够跑出一个比较好的成绩，和预期的希望达成一个预期吧，能进41左右吧。
In its third year, the route for the race was through the ecological zone on the north side of the Suzhou Creek and also passed through the beautiful and peaceful Changfeng Park. The start of the race was at the sightseeing pier on the Suzhou River. The athletes gathered early in the morning, catching up with their friends and warming up for the race in the carnival atmosphere.
“坚持嘛，都是因为就是我身边的朋友嘛，都是给我鼓励。因为我们一个跑团嘛，都是越跑上海，有好多跑友、老师傅嘛，都是给我鼓励，就说意思就是说怎么样跑。刚开始跑步的时候，我什么都不懂，就什么配速啊，什么就是我啥都不懂，就是问一些老师傅啊，他们说怎么跑，就是步骤啊，就是还有一些什么配速啊，怎么控制好，就是说。 就是说，慢慢的，就是说，
对吧？肯定有它不难的地方。不难是什么呢？不难就是说，当你这个运动变成了习惯以后，对吧？你会觉得不难。难在什么地方呢？难在这是一项，对吧？需要长期坚持的一个耐力运动，对吧？如果你坚持不下去，很多人都会放弃的，对吧？所以我觉得习惯很重要。
Just a few metres before the end of the 10-kilometre race, it was Sisse Fikadu-Bahanu who opened up a gap and took the win in the elite men's class with a time of 30 minutes and 26 seconds. In the women's race, Li Xiexan, for a second time in a row, took the win in a time of 33 minutes and 28 seconds. Yang Shuai was the first Chinese elite runner in the men's field, finishing in a time of 31 minutes and 31 seconds.
因为我觉得比上半年的那个半马因为舒服很多，因为我现在身体还是比较好的，因为上半年在感冒，对，所以说这次跑的还是特别轻松的。那难度还可以，因为比上一届的时候要简单很多，因为上一届转弯是有点多的，这一届后面进行了那个赛道的优化嘛，对。
相对我觉得相对比较容易一点，对它起伏很少，基本都是很平的一条马路，对。然后相当于弯道呢，也没有他们很多急弯嘛，弯的也比较少，基本以直路为主嘛，对，会到路口啊、丁字路口会有一些弯道。
Trail running in Taiwan and road running in Shanghai, we now move to another form of running, that of ultramarathons. Crossing a desert is one of the most demanding challenges, let alone running across it. So now let's move to Latin America, to one of the most beautiful places on Earth, to Chile for the spectacular Atacama crossing.
The events this year have been in the most amazing locations. Definitely places I wouldn't have visited if I hadn't have done these. I wouldn't have looked at a map and said, hey, I'm going to go to Mongolia and Chile and Namibia. But they've been so incredible, and it's difficult sometimes because, especially this event, you're looking at your feet when you're running. But then yesterday I definitely looked up a lot of the time and just took in the amazing scenery, especially the massive sand dune we had to go up at halfway just before we hit 40 kilometres, and it was, yeah, incredible. So I'm so glad I've gotten to come to these places.
Racing in Chile is part of the Racing the Planet series, an incredible tour which takes in some of the most beautiful landscapes in the world. Crossing the finish line here in Atacama is not only about the position you finish in, but also the challenge of just getting to the finish. Rob Moore is here to explain how he feels when he completes one of these demanding races.
It's amazing to cross the finish line, really emotional, just felt great, just taking it all in, and here with all the crowds it just felt amazing.
The Atacama crossing is one of the most difficult races on Earth, and the athletes couldn't make it without being part of a team. It can be very emotional finishing such a demanding race.
So many times I'm gonna give up every day, every time. But most people that help me and then worry about me. And finally I did it, and we did it. We all did it. Thank you.
So what does an athlete need to do in order to take part in a race of this calibre? Here's an ultra running expert to explain his preparations.
this experience here in desert of Atacama was a very amazing thing, because we have to pushing the limit, and we forget all the things. We concentrate in one race. We are a group of many people, but we are one person, because we partage, we practice the same things. It's very hard, and he give me, I think he give us the feeling to be alive, you know, because when it's difficult, you feel your body, and when you feel your body, you feel then you are alive. It was fantastic.
Let's now get into the action, and after an enthusiastic start by the athletes, they were looking to give their best in order to accomplish each stage. As Racing the Planet's 250-kilometre ultramarathon in northern Chile, the Atacama Crossing, reached the halfway point, the leader, Wu Huchong from Hong Kong, was on track to set a new course record. After 3 stages, Wong held an unimaginable 2-hour lead over the rest of the field, having completed 120 kilometres in 10 hours and 55 minutes. The course record stood at 23 hours 46 minutes, 10 minutes faster than the only other time ever recorded under 24 hours, set originally by the Salomon-sponsored international ultra runner Ryan Sands from South Africa.
We are the Atacama Crossing 2018. We're at the finish line. The runners are coming to get their medals. All the volunteers and staff are waiting. This is what everybody's been waiting for, is the big finish in the San Pedro Square.
The women's race was equally as exciting, if not more so, with the leader's bib changing hands after each of the 3 stages. There was just 3 minutes separating the first and second place athletes, Li Ping from China and Hannah Walsh from the United Kingdom. There was also less than 1 hour separating the top 5 female athletes. So that's all from this month's episode, a show which was dedicated to the world of triathlon and running. Athletes who take part in trail running, road running or desert running have all got one thing in common: to make it to the finish line. Stay tuned for our next and last episode of the Outdoor Sports Show in 2018.